Hello, I'm Victor, and this is online literature class. As you can see, I'm holding a mic. I got this mic yesterday, and I'm excited to get down to work with it. I hope you get to enjoy the improvement that comes with the use of this mic. Now, let's get down to the business of the day. In our last lesson, we looked at two figures of speech, which are rhetorical question and apostrophe. We learned that rhetorical question is a figure of speech that involves a question that is asked which is not meant to be answered or not meant to elicit a response, but rather to make a point, to emphasize or persuade a listener. For example, what's the use of money if it cannot buy happiness? What's the use of money if it cannot buy happiness? We also learned that apostrophe is a figure of speech that involves an address to a dead person, an absent person, an abstract thing, or a supernatural being. This is usually done to express an emotion or to show a certain level of intimacy. In today's lesson, we'll continue to look at some other figures of speech which are pun and onomatopoeia. We will look at pun and onomatopoeia. Now let's get down to it. Pun can be defined as a figure of speech that involves an intentional play on words in order to achieve humor or other linguistic effects. I take that again. Pun can be defined as a figure of speech that involves an intentional play on words in order to achieve humor or other linguistic effects. For example, it's better to be late than to be late. It's better to be late than to be late. In this statement, the play on word is on the word late, while the first one means it's better to arrive at a place not on time than to rush and involve in an accident that may possibly lead to death. The other one means late, arriving at a place not on time, than to be late than to die. Now the play on word is on the word late. Another example is 7 days of fasting makes 1 week. 7 days of fasting makes 1 week. But do you know that the same statement can read as 7 days of fasting makes 1 week? 7 days of fasting makes 1 week. While the first one means 7 days of fasting makes 1 week, it means 7 days of fasting makes 1 week of fasting. It means 7 days of fasting makes a week of what? Of fasting. And the second one means 7 days of fasting, 7 days of going without a food, 7 days of not eating food makes 1 week. Makes 1 week. It will make a person to be weak. 7 days of not eating food will make 1 week. The play on word is on the word week, while the other one is number of days in a week, and the other one refers to being weak. There are other numerous examples of pun like who is Maria? Do you want to marry her? Maria, marry her. When you place an indomie on a table, does that mean it is indomitable? These are all play on words. Sometimes it is done to achieve humor or other linguistic effects, as I said earlier. The other figure of speech that we'll look at today is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia can be defined as a figure of speech that involves an expression with a word or words that suggest their meanings. Onomatopoeia can be defined as a figure of speech that involves an expression with a word or words that suggest their meanings. For example, the firework made a loud boom in the sky. The firework made a loud boom in the sky. The word boom suggests how the firework exploded in the sky. Another example is tweet tweet, the bird sang to the listening of the little boy. Tweet tweet, the bird sang to the listening of the little boy. Tweet tweet suggests the voice of the bird. The voice of the bird. Now, this brings us to the end of today's class. In summary, we have learned that Pun can be defined as a figure of speech that involves an intentional play on words in order to achieve humor or other linguistic effects. And we also learned that onomatopoeia is a figure of speech that involves an expression with words that suggest their meanings. Thank you for following through. Please like the video and share. If you have a comment, please leave it in the comment section, and if you have a question, you can do that as well. Leave it in the comment section. I appreciate every support that you guys are giving me at this early stage of my journey, and I will never forget it. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in our next class. I'm Victor. Bye.